I am Sophronia Scott. I've spoken and communicated with all of the new students, of course. I am the director of the Alma College MFA in Creative Writing. And first of all, I will say again in person, congratulations for being accepted into the program. And we are excited to have you with us for summer residency. So this call tonight is just a quick overview of some of the things that will be helpful for you to know going into our summer residency, which begins on June 16th. You received my email communications about arriving on Wednesday, and we get started first thing in the morning on the 16th. Now, there are a few things we're going to talk about. Housing tonight, we're going to talk about finances like paying the bills, and also tech things. So if you have any questions, you can ask. We will open it up for questions at the end. And I will also provide some information, especially concerning the tech, about what you need to do if you need help concerning that. Now, I will begin with the tech because this is connected to what's going to happen at residency. So I'm going to share my screen. The first thing I'd like to explain is that Alma College uses a learning management system called Canvas. And all of our courses are delivered through that medium. Now, this is what it looks like on the page. Actually, the current course for summer residency is being built now, but this is Residency 1 from this past winter. You will, if you haven't already received notification from the registrar, you will be enrolled in 2 courses. The one course will be Residency 1, your first term residency. The second will be your mentored studies course, which will be your semester's long course in either fiction, nonfiction, or poetry, whichever genre you will be studying. So you will have on your Canvas dashboard the course for residency and also one for mentored studies. Now, I'm just going to show you briefly what it looks like on the screen. I have already emailed you this evening a link to the Canvas training that the tech people did for our first year students last year. And that will tell you everything you need to know about how to get into the system once the new courses are up and how to navigate it. I've also explained how to get help from the IT people if you're having trouble with Canvas or if something is confusing to you, but how to get into it and submit assignments and just do everything. You can communicate with your advisor through Canvas. The handouts for residency will be available in Canvas. Everything is here. So Canvas usually starts with a dashboard, and this is a student view, so you won't be able to see. Usually there will be 2 tiles here that will represent your 2 classes. And the course, once you open it, we'll have an overview, and you'll see both in the student handbook that you've already received, but also in Canvas, that you have a couple of assignments that will be due, one at the beginning of residency and one that you will work on throughout residency. So first you will submit a kind of pre-assessment of where you think you are before you start residency, what you're curious about, what you're concerned about, but basically just to document your starting point. The residency journal is a document that you will work on throughout residency, commenting on the lectures that you're taking, what happens in workshop, just documenting your learning, what surprised you, what didn't you know, what is something that you're excited to try. And there will be details both in your handbook, but also in Canvas about what can be, but what should be in that residency journal. There will also be the deadline, and you will get alerts that, well, you will set up your notifications to alert you when things are due and how to submit it. The other thing that you will submit through Canvas is your faculty preference list. Now, our schedule is almost done. You'll be receiving the residency schedule in a few days. Early on in the residency, we will have a session where you do sort of brief interviews with all of the faculty so that you can decide who you might want to work with for the semester. You will submit a faculty preference list through Canvas, and then by the end of the next day, you will receive your faculty assignment. But I bring it up because it is another piece that needs to be submitted through Canvas. If you have workshop homework, like if something comes up during workshop and your advisor decides to give you guys an assignment to write something during workshop and hand it in, it will be handed in through Canvas. You'll also see, and this image at the bottom is resources. So usually the visiting writers, the instructors during their lectures, they will often sometimes have handouts for you to read. And those will also be in Canvas. You can print them up if you like, but you can also view them on your screen. So it's just a very handy way to have everything here to be able to navigate the residency without carrying a lot of paper around. Although I find that, I know I still like to print things. There will be a printer in the common area of the Opera House, so you will be able to print any material from Canvas if you choose to do so. The other thing, the study plan. So the other piece you will be developing throughout residency is your semester study plan, which you will develop with your advisor. That study plan will be submitted in the second course. It is technically the first assignment of your mentored studies course. So you'll see all this once we open the courses, and you'll know how to get in there and work with that after you view the training. So that's what I have to say about that. Okay. Next, I would like to introduce you to Alice, who handles housing, and she has some information to share with you about our rooms in our lovely residency home, which is the Wright Lapine Opera House on the Alma campus.
Yeah, I'm excited to welcome all of you to the Opera House for the first time. The Opera House is an apartment building that's located right in downtown Alma. We are, of course, a small rural community, but the Opera House is in pretty close walking distance to some local coffee shops, a few restaurants, and just a couple of blocks from campus. So it is nice and central, but it's also kind of in the heart of the Alma community. So the way that the apartments are set up, it is a shared kitchen, living space, shared bathrooms, but single bedrooms. So each person has their own room, and the apartments range in size from 2 to 5 people per apartment. The larger apartments can have up to 2 bathrooms. The smaller apartments have 1. This building was, just to give you a little bit of the history, it was the historic downtown Opera House in the city of Alma. It has gone through a few transformations over time. And most recently, it actually had a fire and then was completely renovated and turned into the campus space that it is now. So it is a very beautiful space. They've done a lot of work. It is very, very recently redone. And the apartments, I would say, are fairly nice. I know you stayed there last year during residency, Sophronia. So it is actually
we have the best housing of any MFA program.
You've definitely got the best housing on our campus. But because they are apartments and they are traditionally used for undergraduate students during the year, they are set up for that use during the year. Each bedroom will have a twin bed. It will have a dresser, a closet, and a desk for you to use. So that's already set up in there. I believe we provided linens last year. That was part of our setup.
Yes, because we also did a linen exchange.
Yes, we did. Yep. So we were working on coordinating those pieces with hospitality services, but we will once again provide the linens and some of the basic pieces that you would expect in an apartment setting. So of course there will be, coffee makers, things like that for your mornings, microwaves, some of the basics. It is not a hotel though, so I do let you know that some of those personal items such as hair dryers and such won't necessarily be provided. So we would ask that you bring any personal care items that you need. We are also fairly close to some, local grocery stores and things like that. If you forget something and need to run out for something, it is a little bit of a quick drive, but not too far away, just a couple of miles at the most. So the Opera House, like I said, is also right. The apartments are right next door to the ballroom space. If Sophronia, are you planning to use that again for some of the coursework?
All of our lectures will be in the ballroom. And
Perfect.
we're actually eating in there as well.
Wonderful. So you will be right there. And the facility does also have laundry. So if you would like to do some laundry during your stay, I know it's a slightly longer stay. The laundry is not coin operated, no card swipes, no nothing. Just show up and use it as long as the machines are available. So a lot of the amenities are right there where you would need them. Nice and close by. The only other pieces that we would need from you around housing, in your housing portal, which is outside of Canvas, there are two different forms. The one that almost everybody is going to fill out is the housing agreement and questionnaire. That's required for everybody who lives on campus at any point. The questionnaire is really short. It asks you if you have any dietary needs that we should plan for around dining. And it also asks you if you have any residential needs, think things around accessibility, or if you have any roommate requests. That's how you would help to sort of match people together in those apartment spaces. So it's very quick, it's very easy. The only other form that you would see is a residency exemption form. And that's for anybody who already lives local to Alma or perhaps has very close family in the Alma area that they would plan to stay with instead of staying in the Opera House. So that is only limited to folks who have that existing relationship or established residency in the Alma area. So most folks would not need that form, but it's there if that's your scenario. So that's the summary of housing. The move-in process will be right at the Opera House, so you don't need to go anywhere else. We will have keys and staff ready to meet you at the Opera House, and then we can get you settled right in.
Thank you, Alice.
Mhm.
And Lene Figueroa, did I pronounce that right, Lene?
Yes, you did.
Lene is in admissions, and she is standing in tonight for one of our financial officers who could not be with us this evening. She is away at a conference, but she sent Lene some information to share with you.
Yeah, so as Sophronia said, my name is Lene. I have communicated with all of you. You can probably put a face to the name of all the emails that I've sent you all. I'm so excited to welcome you on campus in just a few weeks. As Sophronia said, our financial services officer is not available to make it tonight, but she did provide with us some helpful links in terms of paying your MFA bills. Our first fact is that the MFA bills are due on June 15th, 2022, so in just a few weeks. And I will post under the chat some helpful links in terms of paying your MFA bills. For example, if you're interested in doing payments, we offer payments through CashNet, and they can be extended from 6 months to 12 months of payment plans. So I will post those helpful links on how to pay your bills, and if you would like to do a payment plan through CashNet. And I will also email the links as well in case if you need them for future use. As well, I will put in the chat Mary Pratt's the financial services officer who was supposed to be here. I will post her email down below. She told me to tell you all that she is available when she comes back from the conference with any questions that you may have in terms of paying your MFA bill. I believe that may be it, but I am also open to any questions that you may have. And I also have no problem directing the questions to Mary as well.
Okay, thank you, Lene. I wanted to add, I spoke to Katharina, I think she's on. We were talking about airline flights. The transportation, Katharina, if it will be easier for you to fly into Detroit, we will be able to get you transportation from there. And same thing with you, Mary, if it would be easier for both of you to fly into Detroit, we can make that happen. So let me know soonest because I'm making those arrangements. Does anyone have any questions for us? And you're welcome, Katerina. She put that in the chat.
So Sophronia, I had a question for Alice. As far as the kitchen setup, if they wanted to do just some light cooking, are there pots and pans in the kitchen area?
There are not pots and pans in every
Okay.
apartment. If somebody needed to borrow some, I think we have some through our campus food pantry.
Alright.
So we may be able to set that up.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, because there's actually there's a full stove, right, in the apartments and a full-size refrigerator as well.
Yeah, it's a full kitchen. So microwave, full-size fridge and freezer, dishwasher. Yep, all the appliances.
But if for some reason you decide that you want to cook all of your food and not participate in the dining, that's another thing you should let me know, because the dining, number one, you don't want to be charged for dining that you're not using. And number two, we have to let the dining services know for an accurate count for the meals. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question for Alice, I guess. I'm keto. I haven't eaten carbs in about 6 years now. I've gone from 350 some pounds down to what I am now. Is the dining, is that going to be keto friendly? Or should I plan on bringing my own meals?
So they craft their menus based on the dietary needs that we would have listed. So they'll make sure that there's an option for everybody at every meal based on the dietary needs that we report. So
I
if
mean,
that's
I'm
something
good
that
with
you
the
need.
salad.
Salads, but it's important, Doug, that you put that in your portal, in your preferences.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. I take that complete list. I don't necessarily, link that back to individual identifiers, but I send the list of dietary needs to our dining provider so that they have those when they're planning out meals.
And we have a variety of dining needs in the group, so you're not alone.
Yeah, and they should be accustomed to meeting those needs. They meet the needs of all of our undergraduates from August through May. So this is a smaller group. I think they can handle that.
Good, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to see a face to the name, Doug.
Likewise, it's nice to meet all of you.
Anything else? And Alice, thank you for putting that email in the.
I think Mary Beth has a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Beth, or are you Mary? Which do you?
I'm Mary. I know it says Mary Beth, but most people call me Mary.
Okay.
So people who know me in real life do, that's at least. So my laptop is an old dinosaur and it can last for like an hour, maybe two before dying. Are there going to be plugs available like wherever we're studying? And
if I remember correctly, aren't there plugs in the tables, Alice, in the Opera House Ballroom?
I don't know that they're in the tables. I know that there are outlets in the walls.
Okay.
So depending on the seating arrangement, if you're sitting near a wall or have an extension cord, perhaps that would work. But I don't think there's anything coming up out of the floor from what I recall the last time I was in there.
Okay. I get confused. I've been in so many different conference rooms. I don't know what has what.
Yeah, I was just presenting down there not too long ago, and I remember I had to find a plug on a wall.
Okay. So yeah.
Thank you.
So the Opera House Ballroom, we usually set it up with like long classroom type tables, and I think, if one isn't close enough to the wall, the tables are on wheels, so you can easily roll one over there if you need to be closer to a plug.
okay, thank you.
Cool. Anything else? That's it. Nothing, Whitney? You're good? Okay. All right then. Well, thank you all for joining us this evening. I'm so looking forward to having you on campus. This is, you'll see our students love Alma and they love being a part of the community, and I hope you will feel the same welcome and feel connected as well. So we will see you very soon. Email me if you have any questions, and have a good evening.